From Rixie, this is Debuff, and I'm your host, Steve Skeels. Welcome back to Debuff. Thanks for joining us again. Here with Sean, Mason, myself, Steve. How you guys doing this week?
Oh, I'm doing great.
What are you watching there, bro?
I found the TikTok about what I was going to talk about. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Dude, I'm actually not great. I have a serious fucking migraine. So I'm nursing that a little bit.
You got your
So I got my
Coke?
water. I got my caffeine, trying to, pump the caffeine. Because caffeine's really in migraine medicine. And I got water. So if I seem different for any reason.
So we'll just try to make a lot of loud noises.
Yeah.
And if he passes out, we will cut that out. So
Just keep going. If I pass out, just keep going.
all right.
We'll just act like the camera went off.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
We don't wanna do that.
We played Jackbox again, so we added. I don't know why it sounds like fucking underwater.
It's your fucking filter on the.
Yeah, no. But
Damn, son, where'd you
do,
find this?
do you hear how it's like?
Kind of, yeah.
It's like I don't know, but that has been. If Red Pill was last week's joke of the week, sheesh is the joke of this week.
Yeah, we did a little bit too much with the Jackbox.
We played Jackbox again, and the one that I remember was Maddie had a prompt that was like, "What did Adam say to Eve when he first met her?" or something like that. Do you guys know what it was?
Yeah.
It was what did Adam say to Eve when he first saw her?
Yeah, and what did you say? Did somebody say nice cock?
It was something like that,
And it was something like that, and then she said she, and like it was after rounds and rounds and rounds of people trying it, and some getting some wins. And
It was funny because Maddie didn't even think it was that funny, but we love the meme going around on TikTok. The she.
Yeah,
and then she had the double entendre of female, so she,
female,
and then also he was like, "Damn, she hot."
That
was great.
So funny.
We had a good time. We've been playing Jackbox like every week we can. It's been good.
Quiplash XL, man, it's so good.
Yeah, it's fire. We're gonna have to try to spice it up. Get a different Quiplash. Quiplash 3 or whatever it was sucked.
That was pretty ass.
Yeah.
What was that other one that I couldn't think of the name of last time? The one where it says your answer on screen.
Oh,
I can't remember.
God, that's gonna bother me.
I keep forgetting.
It's in box 3 or box 7.
Box 2 is what I had.
Because you had it's whatever one you
it was
had.
on Sean's.
yeah.
I don't
it
fucking
was
know.
called Blather Round.
Oh yeah.
Blather Rounds.
That
That one's pretty fun. Just to hear the computer say funny
We
words.
don't laugh at as much
Beep,
at
beep,
that,
beep,
but
beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, it's just like poop and fart and big poop and I dab.
yeah, it's good.
Oh man.
But yeah. Good
Well,
times.
what's on the docket?
I guess let me go first. We start off with some game stuff, if you guys will.
Great.
I just mentioned it to you guys, but one thing I just saw on Kotaku, an article by Luke Plunkett talking about Super Mario 64 Plus. I guess someone made like an official a port of Mario 64 to PC, so I had downloaded this. I didn't try it because I was doing other stuff today, but it's an executable. Like you don't have to run an emulator to play it.
I put something on my watch later. Is this based on the renders of the ads? Is that what this is?
I
What
did
is the
see that. I did see that.
What does the plus stand for?
I don't know.
Extra.
This is
addition.
because someone already ported 64 to the PC, so
what
he
is
made
this?
this mod. Basically.
Yeah. So what is this?
It adds stuff that says like 60 FPS, bug fixes, a ton of in-game options, and best of all, the ability to continue the level after getting a star. Luke says, don't think of it as a completely different Mario 64, just a kinder, gentler version of the game, only for a more civilized age.
And they have a permadeath option. Did you already say that?
No, but there's a ton of stuff. Yeah, if you go over to the dude's project page, he's got a lot of stuff. Responsive controls, improved camera, extended move set. I saw in the video, which there's a YouTube video we can post in the show notes.
Yes.
I'll send it to you, but basically...
It'll probably be on screen right now.
He does like a ground pound and then like skids across the ground like a new move we haven't seen before, right? Continue level after getting a star, extra modes, all this stuff. It just looks really cool, and I noticed like there's some options that were interesting. You can play with the graphical settings, so they turned it to like it was like low poly, almost like single color, where he's going through a stage, and Mario's just looks like a couple of like the same shape. It's not just blocks, but he's like the same shape. There's no detail on him at all. The stage has no detail. But I just think it's really cool because people are still fucking doing stuff to this game.
Now, do you think, I don't know if it says it in the article, is this because of the Giga Leak that this is possible?
I didn't see anything about that in this, which...
Yeah, I was just wondering because, I mean, to be able to do these things, I feel like you have to have like access to the source code, I guess, unless it's just from the ROM.
I mean, I think it's... I mean, maybe some of it is. I really don't know, but I feel like at this point, people have beaten the game to death so much. There was the multiplayer.
Oh, and it's widescreen. It's not 4:3.
Which is weird because that is supposedly really easy to do, and Nintendo did not do it for the Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
Yeah, I remember one of you guys being really upset about that.
It just seemed silly. But I don't know. I mean, a lot of it looks pretty much the same. I couldn't figure out like a lot of what it was trying to show.
Dude, I think that is awesome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try and GIF that and put it on screen. We're looking at the low poly version. It was up on screen for a second.
Yeah. Walking like normal underwater. I don't know. It's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Tons of settings and
chunky
stuff that I just feel like it's so fun that people still love this game so much and keep adding stuff to it. I thought the multiplayer thing was really cool. There's just so many funny ROM hacks and stuff, but people actually doing this. And again, it's an executable on your computer. It's not a ROM hack per se. Like it still basically
There's
is.
The permadeath mode. Send me this link in the chat. I want to make sure this gets on screen.
But I think it's really cool. I don't know. I mean, we all love Mario 64 here, and I know you guys get really into the speed runs and stuff. So I just thought this was an interesting find today.
Whenever I think about Super Mario 64, all I can think about is terminal montage.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the king of just like speed run animations. And he's more than that. It's a team of people, really. It's not just he, but he's like the lead art director. But regardless, if you don't know who terminal montage is, that is... been a daily rec, and it's something you should watch. Why don't we dual wield? Why don't you say something? Because I don't really have a whole lot. Is this the fucking video I was just watching? This one from No Tech Zone or something?
I was just looking up what you were talking about with the fan made concepts for the Nintendo Switch Pro or whatever they're gonna call it. I really feel like I'm so tired of hearing about it because there's like literally no information. And like people will just come out with something out of the blue and be like, this is what it's gonna have, and no one has any fucking idea.
I feel like it's the same thing as before the Switch came out, and I guess every console does this, but the Switch, the NX, like all the rumors about what it was got so overblown, and there were some mock-ups and things people said that were like pretty spot on, but it was mixed in with so many that were, looking back, like pretty ridiculous that you wouldn't really know what was reasonable. So, I mean, what we're hearing doesn't sound too far off, but
I just feel like people are like, it's going to have 4K and all this shit. And it's like, if number one, I know they're not going to put 4K on that tiny fucking display because there's no point. But if it can output 4K,
I think it's supposed to be the screen is still going to be 720p OLED though, which OLED will be.
But
sweet.
no one really knows, right?
Well, that's what. Yeah, I know, but that's like the running rumor, and it'll output 4K with the DLSS or whatever.
Here's what. So I watched the video. Is it by Tech Zone or Zone Tech or something?
Just click on the.
It's like
video.
this. It's like this Eastern European dude has a really funny accent.
Zone of Tech.
Nintendo Switch
2 Pro leaked. PS5 and Xbox should be worried.
In his defense, the video's beautiful. Like the lighting is really good. His text animations are really awesome. But basically he said this company might be making the screens, or it might be Samsung, it might be mini LED, it might be OLED.
Better be OLED.
It could be anything.
It's
Yeah.
he
There could
said
be
it's-
no screen.
Could
yeah,
be a
it's-
screen.
he said it's realistically probably going to be Samsung just because they have the capacity to handle that many units.
Talking a lot of units.
Yeah, I mean,
Gonna move some
he also
units.
says like the Switch as of whatever date sold 62 million units,
It's
which
their
is
most
crazy.
It's their most successful console. I
yeah,
think.
I think it
Is it really-
surpassed NES. I think,
The Wii
I think
was-
it's what he said in the video.
The Wii was
The Wii
like
was the most-
sold still, I think.
It
It was like 100-something million, I thought. It's on the way to be the most sold, though, is what I
Yeah,
I thought it was already.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I
but
don't
it-
really keep up anymore.
Yeah, regardless, he says, the screen will likely be still 720p.
Yeah.
But maybe more pixels per inch, or maybe a little bit less, but not as many as like a smartphone. And then he talked about basically it would be like if when you plug it into the dock might have an option for you to send it to native 4K, or not native 4K, but essentially an upscale.
Yeah.
But he said it might be based on the dock itself. The thing is like he made it seem like there's a gray area between whether it was speculation or not. Like there are people guessing, and then there are people saying like, "Well, I saw this," and there's really no way of knowing.
Yeah, it's just the speculation really kind of fucking
The only
pisses me
thing
off.
that stood out to me, because we've talked about it, is pricing. And some people say it's going to be $100 more. Some people say, well, the PS5 is $400. That would make the Switch Pro $400, Switch 2. And somebody else was speculating it's going to be the same price without this Pro dock. So if you want the Pro dock, you would get that as an extra fee. It's all speculation. The
Yeah, I mean,
renders are cool though. The smaller margin is fucking cool.
Yeah.
So I do want to just clarify.
Bezel.
Yeah, yeah. The 46th month of for the Nintendo Switch is December 2020, and for the Wii it is August 2010. The Switch has sold 76.99 million units, while the Wii sold 72.48 million units in the same time frame.
Yeah. So it's selling better.
Yeah, so the Wii sold 101 million units, and so the Switch needs to sell another 24 million units to outsell the Wii. But
Completely doable.
yeah, no, I mean, the thing I would say is that I feel like we're still so far off from the next console. Just looking at the fact that 42 months in, and the Wii was like 101 months before they released another console, right? Or discontinued manufacturing that console.
I do feel like the generations have been like getting shorter though, and especially even last gen, Microsoft and Sony had like their half step Pro versions, or like the Xbox
Yeah, that shit's
One
annoying
X.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, at the time for those, it was really just like, do you have 4K HDR capabilities with your TV? Well, then maybe you want to buy it, but otherwise, there's almost no reason. There was few games that had that much of a benefit where it mattered, but with the Switch, was already playing mainly like last gen games and Nintendo and indie games or whatever. But stuff like Doom. Do we really think whatever the next Doom is going to run on the Switch? Probably not in its current state, right? Like if it's made for PS5
No.
and Xbox Series consoles.
Well, that was a question I had for you. I feel like I know the answer, but I just want to confirm it. If assume the Switch Pro or the Switch 2, whatever it's called, comes out fall 2022, are you buying it?
Yes.
I mean, if I can find one, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I walked around Target for every fucking day trying to find the Switch when it first came out.
I probably will too, just because I want to have a second Switch just to say I have one.
We both already have two.
And yeah,
Yeah, embarrassing.
And I also
There are 6 Switches in our
probably
house.
just
Yeah.
use some of my Dogecoin to buy it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, I think it'll be cool. And like we've said before, even if they aren't playing like games a whole lot better, if it just runs better, I don't care about the graphics if it's still 720p on a small screen like that. It doesn't really bother me. I feel like most games aren't that I don't know, grainy or anything on a screen like that. But if they just run better, I mean, if you talk about, as we have Zelda Breath of the Wild, the few areas like the forests, the densely packed areas that run not the best, if those ran better, that would be cool, right?
Yeah.
What's up?
Sorry, dude. I should get out of the habit of scrolling through Twitter on this podcast. Sometimes I'll just
Dude, it's okay.
dude, this guy's username is Honey I Smoked the Mids.
Dude, I saw one. Maddie sent me a tweet, and it was like Brady the Scallion instead of Megan or something like that. Yeah, I think I want it, and I can just like chop it down to the bezel. I mean, I'll get it because of that bezel.
Yeah,
it looks fucking dope.
We got a 4K
Assuming
TV
it looks like that.
right.
It may not even change the bezel, but you'd think that is one thing I don't really get about Nintendo. I understand it, but I don't at the same time. That I feel like if they would just put a little bit more into the R&D of graphical and specs, I feel like they could really do even better.
Nintendo's already come out and been like, we're never like. That's
I
not
know
our
that, but I'm
our
just
focus
saying,
is
like,
making fun games.
like the GameCube or the Wii was in 480p.
Yeah.
The Switch is in 720p. Like
1080 on docked sometimes.
yeah, like I'm like
well, hold on.
I
hold
love
on, though.
the Switch. I love Nintendo's games. Implicitly, where's that button?
But I don't feel like it's fair talking about the.
But you just 1080p on a screen. Like some of the phones in this room have like 2K screens. I'm pretty sure.
Do you have a 4K TV?
Yes, I do.
Do you even watch anything in 4K besides maybe your YouTube or whatever? Right. Like, but that's all I'm saying is like.
But I don't need 4K.
I know.
I don't need 4K. I'm saying 1080. Well, 1080 is fucking
the TV is
like 12 years old.
Docked mode is 1080p, but with some games dropping to 960 during high frame rate or
variable resolution.
Yeah.
I get why they made their choices. It makes it a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the easier to available parts numbers. They had. I don't know,
but
man.
A 1080p screen, we can't get at least. I don't know. I've always wondered why I know why they're behind, but I also just think that they could really they would do even better if their shit was like graphically a little bit better.
I don't think they're ever going to make the screen more than 720p because battery life. The more pixels you have, the more power that it sucks out of there. If you have a 2K display on that thing, it's unnecessary. Like, I would say maybe 1080 would be where I would say that's. I mean, my phone is a year old, and this phone ships with a 1080 display, which is.
It's a smaller package. Your battery life is okay.
All
I'm saying, I understand why they make the decisions. I understand all of that. I just wish they would do it.
I just think that they are going for,
and it's
like
good
a different
for conversation.
Yeah, but it's a different marketing strategy, right? Like Sony and Microsoft, they've said they're not competing with them anymore, and Microsoft says they're not competing with anyone. They look at like Google and Amazon as more of competitors now because their whole cloud bullshit and all that. But anyways, I'm just saying that they're doing something different. I mean, the thing with the Switch is that so many people have the Switch and a console or Switch and a PC. I mean, I want to get a PlayStation 5 for certain games, but at the end of the day, I'm probably still going to be playing on my computer and Switch for most games. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I mean, you're just making a point about why wouldn't they? But I think the money, if they were to make it, again, like you said, whatever it is, 1080p handheld or even more, and then 4K output, to do that and price it at maybe the same as a PlayStation 5 is probably not going to get a lot of people in, because it is a cool idea still. It's handheld, you can take it wherever, but someone's like, oh, okay, well, I could just buy a PS5 and play all these really good-looking games.
Yeah, you're right.
So
I get that. One thing that I did see before we came in, maybe an hour ago, that did you see this PlayStation? They decided they're not going to discontinue the PS Vita store.
Yeah, I did see that.
That's hype.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I assumed you would know right away.
I didn't see that, but I don't know.
It happened today, I thought.
It happened I think 2 or 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
I was probably cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Modern Vintage
cooking in
Gamer
the kitchen.
Put up a video about that today, which I didn't watch yet, but it's on my I need to watch list. But I mean, yeah, it's pretty crazy that Sony was like, we're not gonna kill it. Probably from enough like backlash. I mean, that is a pretty
that's what I
new
said.
console.
It's not that old.
Yeah.
I mean, they murdered it on the first
Vita.
like year that it came out, but it's just
When did it come out? Do you know?
it was when
Vita?
I was in like college or right before, so 2012 or
2013.
2013, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So-
Well, that's
Yeah, but
Yeah,
but they were taking down the PSP, PS3, and Vita store at the same time, and the Vita was the newest of all those.
yeah.
which
I can get the PSP. But
Yeah.
I think it's worth I think this is a big win because when you talked about Nvidia and what they were doing with the mining chips, that was a huge issue. And I said, if people make a big enough stink, then maybe they won't do that. And I think this is a product. I mean, we saw that with Xbox when the Xbox
Yeah, that was
One was
stupid.
coming
Well,
out.
Xbox trying to increase the cost of live or whatever the other.
Yeah, and that as well. I forgot about that. I was talking about. Remember when they were like, "This isn't just a gaming machine. This is
Yeah.
a media machine." When they
Well, yeah, they
announced the
fucked
Xbox One.
themselves on that.
And then they were like, just kidding, it's not." And then
Because Sony came out and was like, "Y'all are stupid."
yeah, and so that's what I think about. Like, the consumer has more power than ever because of Twitter, because of Instagram, because of
The
Reddit.
fucking Sonic movie, dude, that was crazy.
The
They made
Sonic
a movie and
it's perfect example.
redid all of the CGI for. I mean, I don't know how far along they
He
were.
did
right,
look like
but-
shit though.
He did, but that's crazy that a studio was like, okay, no one's gonna come see this movie if we release it like this, so we gotta fix it. And they did.
Yeah, I'd love
and the
to
movie
know.
was all right.
Dude, he looked fucking terrifying.
Dude,
Yeah, he did.
that was like, I mean, I think we talked about this, but like jokingly, people were like, that was kind of the best film of 2020 because nothing came out.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just funny to me how shitty he fucking looked.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like wasn't even close.
I mean, they would try to go for that like realistic interpretation,
Dude, but
which,
it was nasty looking.
It was horrible.
yeah,
Ugh,
I'm gonna put that on screen.
it's gross, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, the consumer has so much power, and I love to see this shit happen because it's like, I mean, at first you're like, well, you think about all like the petitions that like never get seen by anyone, that like the online petitions, but it's like this really people made a dip. They said like, don't fucking do that, and they were like, all right, we're sorry.
Well,
like,
yeah. I mean, I think some of it too, though, is how many years ago when Battlefront 2 came out, the like new Battlefront 2 under EA.
the Star Wars one with the microtransactions.
Yeah, and people blew up on them, and
That was
They-
dude. Reddit was going crazy about
yeah,
it.
and they fucking what was the quote that one of the like PR people was like, "We want you to feel a sense of pride and accomplishment when you earn these or whatever." But basically, that game was coming out mad loot boxes, so they took out the ability to buy stuff on release, and I'm sure added it back in later. But people shit on that game and blew up on EA, and I don't know. It had to have been like maybe a month later. And I know we already talked about how games get discounted quickly nowadays, but it was like $20 in like the bargain bin at Target, like on the on sale, whatever, trying to get rid of these games.
And do you think it's because of the consumer?
Yeah, but I also think that
I
the
mean,
game
I guess
still is fine. Like people still bought it. EA is not going to go under because of that or whatever.
they're
but
going to be okay.
But still, like I thought that was kind of cool to see. And again, I'm sure tons of people still played it. We always talk about how like people like us that see that stuff are like, okay, well, I'm probably not going to buy it. But then the like, I don't know, typical consumer is not looking at fucking video game news, and whoever has an Xbox, fucking Joe Schmo is like, Star Wars Battlefront. Oh, dude, yeah, I remember playing one on PlayStation. I'll get the new one.
Yeah, I mean, those games look so good, but it's a perfect example. I mean, I'm just so happy that like you mentioned it, because when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's fucking wild. And it honestly, it makes me want to get a PS Vita.
Dude, I have one. They're pretty sweet. I do feel like, again, Sony did the same thing they did with PSP, where they didn't really support it and they had some missteps, like the memory cards for the Vita.
Are they proprietary?
Yeah, they're like
fuck
fucking
all that.
expensive. And I know if you like hack it, you can get this like micro SD card reader basically that lets you just put a micro SD card in and use that. I think when I bought mine on eBay, I got it with like a 64 gigabyte memory card. And like if you buy some games, it's whatever, but they didn't put that many first party titles on there. I mean, they're cool, and I've said this a lot, and it's almost like is progenitor the right word for this? Like the
Progenitor?
the precursor to the Switch.
I don't know that word, Steve.
Progenitor.
Progenitor? How do you spell that?
Progenitor.
Dude, that was a big boy SAT word. A person or thing from which a person, animal, or plant is descended or originates.
Yeah, so the Switch came out of that idea. Not that Nintendo looked at it. They probably took the Wii U and was like, what if we didn't have to have this 10
Bro,
feet
you're living in 3021.
But no, seriously
fucking
though,
word. Holy shit. No.
The Vita is, it's got 2 joysticks. They don't click in. They have LNR. It doesn't have L2 and R2. It has a touch screen. It has a back touch panel, which that is a fucking gimmick that sucks, except in like a couple of games. But it was really cool. Had cloud saves. They brought out the PlayStation TV, which was basically a Vita without, like, you plug it in a TV, no screen or whatever, and you can use a controller. And through cloud saves, you could play a game, upload your save, sit on the couch, and continue playing it on the TV with a controller like the Switch does. That wasn't how it was when it first came out, but then you can also do remote play where you could play PlayStation 4 games on your Vita. Obviously, not every game worked well because it didn't have all the buttons, but like that was really cool. And I didn't have one when it first came out by any means, but
were the games like graphically I feel like because of the form factor, like maybe they would have been. How big is it? I've never actually seen one in person.
I mean, it's kind of like PSP, but it feels a little chunkier. They came out with like a slim one, but I didn't get that because it doesn't have the OLED screen.
But the games looked pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, when the PSP came out,
the PSP was kind of, it was like good, but it was kind of a downgrade.
Yeah,
everything was a little softer and a little
it's like that. I mean, it's definitely not as good as the Switch, but so it's like a step down from the Switch for sure. But
yeah,
like people said, the PSP was like watered down PS2 graphics. The Vita was probably more like PS3.
Okay,
type. But I mean, I think it's cool. I don't want to go off anymore about how great the Vita is, but I think
happy
they're sweet.
That the store is not being
cool.
discontinued. I think, I think we've talked about this before, but like companies discontinuing online stores, I get it, but I also don't like it.
I feel like it just encourages piracy. Like if I can't buy a fucking PS Vita game anymore, I'm gonna fucking pirate it.
Because there are some that are digital only and not just like small indie titles or whatever that you can get on PC. There are some, I guess, one I can think of is Stranger Sword City. I forget. I just got it on Switch, but I haven't played it yet. Anyways, it had a bonus edition that had like more content or whatever that came out only on the Vita's digital store. Even the actual game was on PC, but only the base version. So there was like content locked to digital only on the Vita. And if they shut that down, you wouldn't be able to get it unless, piracy. And I don't understand if they're going to let you keep downloading their games, because they said if you bought it, you can download. So they're going to have servers that keep the games up and allow you to access it, but they don't want to keep the storefront up.
Well, I believe in stealing, so
I
think it's okay.
No, well,
no, it's okay to steal from corporations.
Oh yeah, if they take the store away, fuck it,
steal.
I just think about someday in the future. It could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. Hopefully, never. The Nintendo 3DS store could be down,
and then I will be stealing games,
and then we'll be stealing. And I'll be finding a way to crack.
It's okay to steal.
It's the same thing as like
find a way to jailbreak my Nintendo DS.
You can already do that, but there's like a statute of limitations, right? Where like NES games, we don't even really think about. Like if I wanted to try Mario 1, I've never pirated a game, but if I was gonna try, am I gonna go?
Hold on. You would never do that.
Am I gonna go find an NES and a cartridge and play it? I mean, that's just so hard. Yes, you can buy it on a couple other things that have the NES game thing on the Switch. Nintendo Switch NES online?
Virtual console
thing.
Well,
but they haven't even been. They don't even have a virtual console on the Switch, right? They just have that little collection of games. I'm just saying they have some options, but we've talked about Nintendo doesn't give us much choice. Like Mario 64, until they put on the Super Mario 3D All-Stars, your choice was to go buy it on like the Wii store, which went down. Does the Wii U store have it? I don't know. It's
Is
weird.
The Wii store down?
Yeah.
See, dude, I think it's fucking bullshit because, like, you're taking away an option for people to purchase games, and I mean, I guess I don't understand the like the legwork that it takes to keep those up, but like, I feel like it has to be worth it because people are like if they have an internet connection, they're gonna be buying games from you.
I feel like
I just feel like leaving it up is going to be like the net positive of leaving it up is going to be greater than if you take it away.
I guess the two things is one, I mean, we would like there to be unlimited capacity, but there isn't eventually, right? I mean, right now I'm not saying they're running into literally can't have enough server space to hold this up. They probably could, but there's got to be some kind of measure they do of how much money are they really bringing in every month and how much is it costing to keep this stuff up. I mean, the Switch, it'll probably be a while.
The swoosh.
And we don't know. Maybe they could do something where it turns into, well, I've heard people say is, could they do something with the Switch like more like a phone where it's you got your app store and as long as you have the newest version, you can play the newest apps. But it's not like your old phone can't access the app store, right? You just can't maybe play the newest game if it says you need Android whatever or iOS whatever.
Dude, I have these old iPads, and they're like essentially bricked from the App Store. Like, I have two of them, and I think one's like Gen 3 and one's Gen 1. And like, I tried to download something for Logic. It's called Logic Remote. I did a daily rec about it, and it's like a remote way to use Logic when you're not sitting at the computer. And like, you can't fucking download it. And like, you'd be lucky to find a single app that you can download on those old iPads. And I don't fucking get, like, I understand that they have to, like, every time they make it, they have to make a new, like, a version of it for those older generations. But like, fuck, dude. I don't get it. I don't understand. You have a tech product that you just completely fucking get rid of.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I made a bad metaphor there.
I mean,
no,
even
but that's
if you
just
think
what I'm
about
thinking.
just like they're changing things in the OS that could potentially stop those apps from working, right? So, like Android, a couple years back, I think switched from pretty much every Android app was running. Android is basically running in a virtual machine, right? So they had a virtual machine called Dalvik, and then decided they were going to switch the virtual machine to Android runtime or ART. And so a lot of people had to redo some of their code in those apps to, work with, and eventually they phased out Dalvik, I'm pretty sure. But that it's just like a under the hood change that most people don't see, and app developers are like, oh fuck, now I gotta recode my app, and I might as well just scrap, developing for an older version of iOS because
you have to have Dalvik and whatever for Android. It's like,
I'm pretty sure that they stopped, or Dalvik is not a thing anymore.
I just don't understand why.
Past Android 4.4, anyway.
I don't understand why. Let's say, like, let's take a rant, like Evernote, for example. Evernote, you build. Let's say you build it for iPad Generation 3. You build it again for Generation 4, so on and so forth. We're maybe at like the 9th generation now. I have no idea. Somewhere is that generation of the app. Why does that not work? You know what I mean? Because at some point, iPads and iPhones don't even update past a certain thing. So it's like, why is there not a set of apps or a version of all these apps that worked on this system at this time? I just don't. I know that would probably stack up the fucking app store, stack up the server with downloads, but like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get that.
So developers, if you're a sole developer of an application and you have multiple versions of that app, you have to update and upkeep all of those. So someone on iPad 1, whatever version of iOS is its last version of iOS, submits us something saying, hey, I have this bug when this happens, and your iPad is that old, they're not going to upkeep. And I'm sure that Apple does not allow for you to have multiple versions of the same app.
Yeah,
I know. I just don't get it.
I think in
planned obsolescence.
Simple terms, even just for Evernote updating, they're on version 10.0. The last version that worked on second generation iPad was version 3.0. they're just going to give you. They probably don't want to leave a shittier version of their app now that they've made all these changes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Evernote, does it not have some kind of cloud service for your note
They
keeping?
do.
Yeah. So then they have
I don't
to.
know. I just picked that one at random.
Well, I'm just saying there's going to be issues where they don't want to have because they could just stop updating it, but they're not going to keep version 10 updated to work on everything. It's the same issue of like just.
Yeah, I get that. I just
No, I mean it sucks that your iPad now can't really do anything.
It's
but
essentially bricked. Like it's first of all, it's slow as fuck because it's like whatever the newest software is, always bricks it because they're just like go buy a new one. But
hey man, we should just change the name of this podcast to Shitting on Apple Weekly.
it's Apple Buff.
Yeah. Well,
D-Apple.
to bring it back around, I guess the main thing we were just saying, it sucks when stores get taken down, but I guess it's an inevitability, and it's a win that the Vita store is still up because it's not that old, and if you want to buy a Vita, there's some great games out there to play. So, you know.
Can I talk about a movie that I watched?
No.
Just really quickly.
This isn't Movie Buff.
Yeah.
D-movie.
All right.
Debrief on the movie.
I'll be quick because
Then I'll throw some more game stuff out there.
I don't know if either of you have seen it. Maddie and I watched a critically acclaimed documentary called Spellbound. Came out, I believe, in 1999. And man, it is something else. It's amazing. The film is about the National Spelling Bee, which in 1999 was held in Washington, D.C. I don't know if that's the case now, but that's where it was held then. And the beauty of it is really they go to these 8 kids who are all in the competition. I think there's like 250 plus in the final National Spelling Bee. But it's just this snapshot of all these different kids from vastly different backgrounds. Like the first girl is this like I believe she's of a Latin American descent who lives somewhere in, I think, Texas. And, you know, I would say lower middle class family, like, you know, not like super wealthy, and father doesn't speak any English, and they're just happy that she's going to this competition. And there's this other white chick from like New Haven, Connecticut, and she's like got money and she's like riding horses and like super wealthy. And then it's just all these different viewpoints of kids around the country in 1999. And it's not even about the spelling bee. It's about like this essentially like piece of history documenting the American citizen. Like it's pretty amazing.
It sounds
like,
cool. I don't know. I mean,
it's just like talking to their parents and talking to them, and all these kids are like crazy fucking bright. Like, you know what I mean? Like, have you ever met somebody who's so smart and they're young and you're like, you probably have it more figured out than I do. Like, you're really calm.
Yeah.
Like, you're really smart. It's like a bunch of these kids are like, yeah, it'll be fine if I win, but like, hey, at least I got to go. And it's like, you're 8 years old. Like, you should not have that viewpoint yet. Like, that is a really mature viewpoint. And these kids are just crazy intelligent. And, like, the words, man. If I'll say anything about the competition, it's, like, the craziest fucking words.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
that's what I don't
progenitor.
Progenitor is definitely not even that hard for that. They would have crushed
would
that, but yeah.
crank that word.
No, yeah, I mean, but that's the point is it's when you get to that level. We had spelling bees when we were kids in school, whatever, but they were, like, made for like first grade, vocabulary and something, right?
And these kids are, I think, 8 to 14.
Yeah,
I think that's the age range. And there's this kid Harry who is a fucking nutcase, and he's 8 years old, but like he's a fucking spelling wizard. And it's just, dude, it's amazing. It's like if you just want to look at the snapshot of American history in 1999 of all these different classes of individuals. That's what it's really for. If you like Best in Show, do you guys know that movie?
No.
Mockumentary. Have you ever seen
Little Miss Sunshine?
What's that fake hair metal band documentary? Fuck.
Oh, dude, I know what you're talking about.
Starts with an S, I think. Spinal Tap. Have you guys seen Spinal Tap?
No, I haven't.
Nope.
Okay. Well, this is right in the
I'm not
vein
the
of all
biggest,
those.
biggest film guy.
Well, here's what I'll say. Watch Spellbound if you're watching this. You guys should. It's on HBO Max. If you can, watch This Is Spinal Tap, which is a mockumentary, and Best in Show, also a mockumentary. But if you watch Spellbound first and then watch these, you'll be like, holy shit, this guy nailed the actual real documentary, which is Spellbound. Because like people are just so weird. And the mockumentaries make such a great point of that. And the real one is real fucking life. And these people are out of their fucking minds. And it's amazing. I recommend those 3 films. This is Spinal Tap, Best in Show, Spellbound.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds
This has
cool.
been your daily rec.
It's been your daily rec. See you
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I just,
This has been your daily rec. We haven't uploaded in 3 months.
yeah, I haven't really
This is
been
your
watching
monthly rec?
documentaries. I don't know. It sounds cool, but I just feel like it's not something I would have seen on HBO Max and been like, yeah, dude, let me throw this on. But
The
it
only
sounds
reason I threw it
interesting.
on because it said critically acclaimed.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I
honestly.
mean, it sounds like it could be cool, like you said, the perspectives and stuff. I mean,
Your quarterly rec.
yeah,
This is your This is your Q2 rec.
I think we're still in Q. Oh no, we are in Q2.
Q2 changed April 15th.
nice.
This has been your
Got to
Q2
pay
rec.
those. Got to pay those Q2 estimated taxes.
See you in 3 months, 4 months.
See you in July?
Hold on. So I
What
got
else?
something I want to talk about. I just thought this was funny. You guys know Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 8, the new Resident Evil game coming out.
Is it the one with the woman with the
The big vampire lady? Yeah,
the,
dude.
the you know what?
Lady-
Yeah, there's a Kotaku
Yeah.
article today.
I saw this come up on my like Google feed, and so I had to look it up to try to
You
find
don't
it.
actually want her to step on you. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
so you don't want Resident Evil Village's tall vampire lady to step on your face. Because so many people are making all these jokes about like vampire mommy, and all this stuff.
I feel like she was kind of
Dude.
like a faux meme sex symbol.
Right,
But dude,
but
she's like fucking 10 foot tall.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she's
She's terrifying.
9'6".
I thought people knew that when they were making the joke.
Yes, but somebody went out there. This guy, let me see if I can find Kyle Hill on YouTube. He estimated. He did the math to see what kind of damage she would do if she stepped on you. So basically, it doesn't really have her mass. So he just kind of guessed her BMI, which there isn't a BMI for 9'6". So he had
Is
to
this
like
all
extrapolate.
like PC?
What do you mean PC?
I
He's
don't
talking
know.
about a big mommy
Dude, this is
vampire
for
stepping on
this
you.
is explicit.
This is science.
This is an explicit show.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't.
It sure is.
viewer discretion is
This
advised.
is for mature.
It's not like it's gonna be like
no,
sexual,
No,
but-
I was just
okay. So he got her BMI. He says between 24 and 26, yada yada. So that puts her at about 450 pounds. And so then he
Damn.
goes and does a estimation of if she stepped on you with her heels, how much pressure that would put on you. Because like pounds per square inch, or that he's doing pascals.
What's your
'cause
foot
he's not
size, though?
American. I don't know, but according to her estimation, if all her body weight were behind her in a quick step, the result would be a value for pressure that's 145 million pascals, which I think
145 million Pedro Pascals.
Hold on. Let's see if I can get a.
Who's that?
Pedro Pascal is the
He's
villain
fucking-
in Wonder Woman. He was in
Oh,
Narcos.
this guy.
He's the Mando.
Yeah, he's the
The
man.
Mandalorian.
So that's 21,000 psi. Air pressure's 14.7.
Why did they do
PSI.
this?
Because everyone's talking about it. It's a meme. So this dude made a video about it, and he shows like a gif of like how much weight that would be going into like a ballistic gel head. But dude, I just thought this was so funny because it's one of those things where
Send me that.
the
link.
meme went like way too far, and then somebody was like, "Okay,
I was like,
yeah,
okay, you know what? If this is what you really want,
Have-
we'll give it to you.
Have you ever seen the? It's not normally like funny. Sometimes it can be, but the subreddit they did the math.
Oh yeah.
Where like a lot of times somebody will say something on Reddit that's just like kind of just throwing out some random shit about numbers, and then someone will come in and like do the estimation, and it's this
Yeah.
whole big long thing, and then be like they did the math. And dude, it's just so funny to see stuff like that. The fucking as soon as the first trailer came out, everybody was just like, "Dude, mommy vampire lady, please step on me." And
it just
someone's
goes
like,
to show
"Whoa, don't do that."
The internet can't help but be foul and sexual, and
Yeah, well, I mean, they made her be a big vampire mistress for reasons, right?
the Kotaku guy was like,
Hell.
Dude, it's so funny.
"Fart."
But, yeah, I just thought that was great today. So,
I feel like I had one more thing. Do you have something?
I do.
Go for it, Steve.
Unless you got something funny, because the last one I have isn't funny.
Well, I have something interesting.
All right,
Kind of
go for it.
interesting. I'm going to show you guys this TikTok. It's actually really long, but I think
How
it's
long
worth
could it be? A minute?
It's 59 seconds. If this is the one.
Okay, TikTok, I have a new word for you that my friends and I use that you clearly are all in need of. So I keep seeing videos like this on my For You page.
Things that give off, I got married at 25.
Or people will say things like, this is millennial or girl boss energy. All of these terms are pointing to the same thing. The word, my friends, is cheugy, okay? It's the opposite of trendy, stylish in middle school and high school, maybe, maybe not. Timelines don't really matter, but it's no longer in style. It's used when someone follows these out-of-date trends or something falls into that category. Some examples. First of all, graphic tees and hats, phrases on clothing, cheugy. Herbal Essence shampoo, cheugy. Instagram captions like these, cheugy. The word you never knew you needed.
So cheugy. This was interesting to me because all those times that you've seen like a really fucking annoying Instagram post by somebody and the captions like, take me back.
Yeah.
Or like, just something that's just so fucking cringy. I think of Wine Mom font.
Yeah.
Wine Mom font is cheugy. And so I think the where the word comes from, I'm doing my best to understand it. Cheugy, trendy is TRENDY. Cheugy is CHEUGY.
Yeah.
So they're just replacing all the letters except for E with a different letter.
And why?
And why?
And why? Yeah, and why?
I don't know, but I don't. This is just a made up word.
Well, no, it's so weird
that.
that this. I mean, it's the first. If you type that in, the top result is
Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary, and the definition was posted in 2018.
Can you read the definition? Just so people are very clear.
The opposite of trendy, stylish in middle school and high school, but no longer in style. Used when someone still follows these outdated trends. This may include, but not limited to, fashion, habits of social media, usage of slang, etc. So, what did they always say in middle school and high school when instead of
Chinglish.
Chee!
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, Chinglish. Yeah, that was something in
That's
our
cheugy.
in our high
I
school.
don't think that
Cheugy.
was limited to our high school.
I don't know if I think that an iteration of that was in lots of high schools, but I just think it's interesting because I've never really thought about putting a word to it, but there's always that vibe of if the biggest example for me is going through Instagram and seeing captions that are so I've seen this a million times.
It's the shut the fuck up is what I want to say whenever I read.
I just
something
feel like I
that.
never really
shut the fuck up.
thought that there. I guess it's never come to my mind that there wasn't a word for it because I would just say that's
Not
that's
trendy.
lame, that's out of style.
Yeah. Synonyms for cheugy: lame as fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
out of date.
I don't know, dude. This makes me feel old.
Well, no, I don't think it should. I think honestly, we're all luckily not in that fucking boat.
Well, no, I understand that, but it just makes me feel old that there's a word in 2018 that people are throwing around on TikTok that
in 2021, you just said 2018.
2018 was when the definition was posted to Urban Dictionary.
I was like, yo, what year do you think it is?
I mean, it's probably like 2012 now, right?
I just feel like I'm saying. I just think that's so weird. I don't know that.
Yeah,
I thought that.
I'm not saying it's
needed a
gonna
term.
catch.
Yeah,
But it is nice to have something that you can center around because we all know what she's talking
I just
about.
feel
Like
like
a
I would have
Karen,
said
right?
that's not trendy anymore.
Yeah, like, dude, you're lame. Like, this is played out. This is I don't know. I think about that and
That's
it's
stupid as hell.
I can't think of any more examples, but she just makes a great point. It's like when you go to someone's house and they have like signs that like say things about like this is a family house, like shit like that. It's like, oh my god, get that the fuck out of here.
I agree. I mean, 100% I agree with you. I also feel like, is that not just like that's our fucking take? Because there's totally people that think that's still sweet. Wine Mom font is still sweet, but
And those people
we've
at
never
Cheugy.
enjoyed that. I don't
Those
think there was
Cheugy
ever a
folk.
point where
I
you
mean-
would have been like, let me get that doormat that says like,
So I went to a restaurant today for lunch to pick up some food. It's in Manassas. It's called America's Best Wings, and
Are they the best wings in
I
America?
mean they were all right. I
oh,
wouldn't
so
say
you
that
eat wings
That's
at
a-
work.
I was gonna
but
say
you won't
that's
get
a
beat
big
up.
it was a
name,
bad
though.
idea. I shouldn't have done it.
Oh,
I did
shit.
feel like I needed to take a shower after I ate them. But there was like four or five pieces of art. Like they just went to fucking TJ Maxx and grabbed the first five. That one was like a Captain America shield. One was like another
Sick.
Marvel.
Were you in
thing.
a fucking Applebee's, dude?
No, there was another one that was in Wine Mom font that said like, you know, good things happen here or some stupid shit.
Wings happen here.
But then there was one that was like, to me, the quintessential Facebook like AI generated merch. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like, don't mess with me.
Yes.
I'm a fish dad, and I was born in November. And
Yeah, and my daughter has blonde hair.
yeah,
and- yeah.
I
like
got a
very
Harley.
specific T-shirts.
I'm 45.
It was a picture of a basketball, and it said, "Little ballers brush their teeth."
I did see you tweet this. I was like, is this what he's gonna say?
Dude, like, what the fuck does that?
What is that? What is that doing at a wing place?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at.
I thought you were at the dentist. I was like, hey man,
No, dude,
he's
that-
getting his
this
teeth
was
clean. Good for him.
Little baller.
I mean, you do get chicken wings stuck in your teeth,
yeah,
but I mean, am I a
It's
little
so-
baller if I brush
yeah.
my, or am I a big baller? Where big
Dude.
ballers don't brush their teeth. I don't know, dude. It's just so funny to me that like why who in the fuck is printing that? Like, and printing any of those fucking like, why is that still a thing? Wine Mom font esque.
Dude, it
people
reminds.
people do like it, dude. I mean, I understand.
I think
but
I think Steve is likes
no,
Wine Mom
I just
font.
feel like
Dude, it's
Dude,
like
that's-
in his room. There's
that's
like
pretty
fucking,
cringe, dude.
Look,
like
look.
this is a family home, and like
He's Wine Mom.
I'm
pilled.
happy to be wrong
yeah, he's
on
Karen
this
pilled.
one. I just feel like we hate on things when it's just we all dislike it, but they fucking make that stuff because people buy it.
Yes,
People
Well,
like that
dude,
shit.
but
What
But it's-
maybe
yeah,
some fucking
but it's
mom
fucking
I just
ugly.
thinks
feel like
that
how-
font is pretty, and they see, oh, my kid plays basketball, and you know this would be great in the bathroom. I don't know why the fuck it's in a wing store, but I feel like
we're about to lose subscriber over this, but
lose one subscriber.
why? Like, sorry if anyone out there who's listening to this enjoys what we're
Mom.
talking
no,
about.
I mean I don't care about that. I'm just saying I feel like you guys are like this shouldn't exist,
but-
and there's a reason it's out there. People buy it.
I understand that. I'm just saying it's frustrating to me because I don't understand, like, I just feel like it's very surface level.
Yes, the dissonance of like somebody else has that, and it's the originality of it. Honestly, like it's fucking unoriginal. That's what Cheugy to me is like this has been done a million fucking times over. Now, in the people who disagree with me's defense, yeah, video podcasts have been done. Podcasts have been done.
All right, well,
White guys sitting around a table speaking into microphones has been done.
I think we're the first, dude.
But like getting a sign that says like, you know, this is a house for, you know, loving fam. It's like, okay.
liquid
Like
therapy.
you guys always love each other. Like, are you like, is shit not that great all the time? Like, it's okay for things not to be that great.
yeah, you're not gonna
It's
put up a
fucking
sign
bullshit.
that's like sometimes things aren't great here.
Honestly, that would be an
no,
awesome
I know.
sign.
I think that'd be funny,
and it
but-
would be original.
But, no, but it's because we recognize the fucking like
Irony.
satire, of that. It's not.
Yeah, it's like you guys probably fight a lot.
Yeah, but that's why we
Most
think
people
it's-
have those
it's funny.
signs. Like you probably fight a lot.
in the Wine Mom font, like, we're getting a divorce.
Yeah. We only get divorced here at this house. What
Yeah.
do those signs say?
Getting a divorce, send wine.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's all that shit. It's so aggravating. But
Dude, you walk into fucking
a lack
TJ
of
Maxx
originality.
and it is like Danielle and I went there and we're looking for a new laundry basket. And there was one we both liked. And I pull it down, and on the other side of it that was facing away from it had like a fucking sign on it that said laundry. And like I don't need the fucking label on every
Yes.
single one of my items in the house. Like
yes,
I know what goes in here. I'm not fucking stupid. Like you don't need to label it for me.
I couldn't agree more.
And so I was like, I like this one. I don't want to have to keep it turned around all the time. So I don't want to know that it's there. And I don't have a welder or like, I'm not going to de-weld this off, off the.
Well, so that's.
I mean, I could have taken it off, but I don't have something hot enough to take it off.
It's things with like monograms and shit. Like, it's fucking ugly.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Like, okay, if you don't agree with Cheugy or whatever originality, it's fucking ugly. Like.
Yeah, I mean,
I
don't
to
disagree
God,
with
there's
you
nothing
guys.
out there. Like, we used to have a pillow on the couch. We might still. Hopefully, I threw it away. It said like "Merry Christmas" or something in the Wine Mom font, and like I gave Maddie shit about it for a long time, and I'm pretty sure she was like, "I think my mom bought this," but like that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not gonna fucking find it here because like. I don't mean to be like pretentious, but like we're fucking above that. I know you guys are too. Like, it's fucking ugly. It's unoriginal. And
I think the word I will use to say is
brah.
some people like it. I think it's tacky is the word that I would use.
It's tacky.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
It's
I just
chuggy.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean chuggy, sure, but I just feel
I don't like that word, dude.
Yeah, I don't really care for
I
that.
will still
but
continue to say
I wanted to say
untrending.
one more thing
I'm
before
making me
we
feel
break
old.
because we're at an hour. When he said something about that, like, oh, the super specific little baller thing. Have you guys seen those posts on Twitter where an artist will be like, hey, somebody keeps stealing my art and putting it on T-shirts. Can you guys take
Report them.
this one and say, I want this on a T-shirt so bad so that they print it?
Yeah,
And
and
they'll
it just
put,
shows
like-
up on like 2 days later.
Well, so what'll happen is the thing that they're saying that to will say like,
Or-
this artwork was stolen. If you see it on a T-shirt site, they stole it, and then like it'll pop up on a T-shirt site and it'll be like, this artwork was stolen from Twitter by this person.
I said, but I meant Redbubble.
yeah, I knew you meant
Redbubble,
Redbubble.
yeah, that's okay. We don't need to talk about what.
We could just bleep
How do
that
you
out.
fucking know what that is?
Redbubble?
Redbubble?
The other thing.
Oh, dude, you've talked about it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I just didn't know I ever said it really out loud.
Anyways,
I would just say
Redbubble
put
is
a
cool-
beep over top of
Yeah, I'll put a beep over, but I'll leave it in like PD
Dude,
USA.
PD,
He's like, holy fucking shit, and it's like beep beep, and then dude, why is that like the one of the best parts about his shit?
It's so funny to me.
Again, it's the irony, the satire.
Yeah,
No, so there was a
the
guy. Who,
chugginess.
I mean, Styropyro. I've recommended him, and we watched a bunch of his shit. He put up a video or a post on Instagram that was like people are stealing, like footage of mine or images from my videos and posting them on like Alibaba or any of these like
as
big
like,
sellers and saying, hey, you can buy these lasers.
oh
But
wow,
they are
Something he
nowhere
made.
near as bright as the ones that Styropyro makes.
that's so interesting.
Yeah, and he was like, can you go and like report them? Or if you see them, let me know so I can get them taken down because it's misleading. And
If I can find a post, I'll put it on screen. It was Twitter. It was like, hey, like this stupid fucking website keeps stealing my shit. Like,
yeah, that one I think happened a while ago.
oh yeah, this is not recent, but that's what it reminded me of when you said like hyper targeted, like this little baller needs to brush his teeth, or like all those are really funny. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a DeShare Zone.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
he would have a shirt that's like, this guy is
Yeah.
into skeletons and he has anxiety.
Yeah, but-
something like
but that's
that.
like that would be a good joke. Those fucking Facebook T-shirts are ridiculous. I want someone to. I've seen like people online say they bought them, but if any of us used Facebook and had one come up, I would buy
Dude, his
one.
Oh, I would so
fucking
buy
his
one.
fucking merch is so funny to me, dude.
Don't you have a share?
I have
Zone
one
shirt?
of them. Yeah, it's the one with it's like a whole paragraph of like, I'm sorry. Like,
Dude, I saw one
I have a-
today that this guy found that was like, it was kind of in that same vein where it was like, have you ever seen a hot rod at therapy? And it's like, I didn't think so. And it's like, Okay, dude. Cool. Like, cool fucking shirt. This guy saw it in the wild and then he found it online. I'll try and find that one too. But,
That's
well,
ridiculous.
we're definitely at time.
right. Well,
Cheugy.
Cheugy it out. Thanks for listening, guys. Little games this week, little hating on Wine Mom font. Nothing new for us. We do that on our off time too.
This was
so-
a Karen pilled episode.
Yeah, dude, Karen pilled and definitely based. But thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Debuff is hosted by me, Steve Skeels, edited and mixed by Mason Carlton. Follow us on Instagram at DebuffPod. That's Debuff, P-O-D. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one.